In the limited time we've got, I want to run through several other issues. You're a very busy man, but it's been out for 3 days. Have you seen the TV news reports out of a suburb of Denver where the police charged an 82-year-old veteran where illegal aliens were on his property robbing his trailer? They tried to run over him, and he shot one. They pled guilty to stealing his trailer, and then they released the illegals, and they're charging him with murder, not just manslaughter. I mean, this is insane.
I hadn't seen that, and it is an insanity. And this is where patriots, Americans, we have to stand up for not only our rights and our liberties. That people have always said the threat comes from within, and this is very troubling. And I see this sense of anger and outrage, and we're going to keep the focus here to demand that this problem get changed. And then, with our republic, in democratic principles, throw these bums the hell out of office.
Let's go back to the kidnapping issue, because I remember 3 years ago, the State Department listed Mexico as the second most dangerous country for crime in the world, #1 for kidnapping, and put a travel advisory out. Parents are still sending their high school graduate kids down to Mexico. Even the resort towns are getting hellishly dangerous. And so for people that do know about how dangerous Mexico is, I don't think they realize that South Texas and areas of Arizona are as dangerous statistically. Can you speak to the kidnapping?
Yeah, the kidnapping is largely targeted to the illegal. And this is where these people, what's so ironic is all these same people that, like Jack Harris, the police chief of Phoenix, and all these other people who have loved to preside over sanctuary cities, they're saying that, well, if we enforce the law, that there's going to be suppressed reporting by these illegals. And that's absolutely false. Not only because we're the kidnap capital, because none of their policies in the past have worked, but the fact that their culture they come from, they don't call the police. They handle things on their own because the police are corrupt down there.
Well, that's common sense. That's common sense. If they let the murderers and rapists and kidnappers go, these illegal communities are scared to death. And of course, I mean, that's common sense that this causes crime to increase.
Right. Absolutely. And this is where the president is really looking at undocumented aliens as undocumented Democrats. And it's a shame, not only for America. We are at the tip of the spear here in Arizona of all the illegals that come into America. Over half of them come through our state. And we have said time and again, we need help. And it's not that I'm throwing up my hand saying we just can't do the job. I only have 214 deputies for an area the size of the state of Connecticut. I can't stop hundreds of thousands of people who are coming in here by ourselves. And this is where we need to deploy soldiers who are armed to the border. And while they're deployed there, build the double barrier fence that the president has stopped constructing, that President Clinton, of all people, had signed to establish. So he did something very good there. And then we have to end catch and release. They have to be deported. There has to be a penalty and punishment. It's the rule of law in America, and we've got to stand up and defend our country.
Sheriff, specifically, you're an expert on this. You're down there on the front lines of this, and you're the head of the Sheriff's Association down there. Can you specifically tell us, and people listening all over the country right now, what they can do individually to aid Arizona that is the front line of this criminal invasion? His cell phone, we just lost it, so let's call him back and get that final comment. But the website is sheriffpaul.com, and we will try to get him back online. He's out driving, and it either dropped or something disconnected it. Great, because I want him to be able to finish that point, and then we're going to let him go and get to a few of your calls and some other news. But you know what? If you're for open borders, folks, you come down here to South Texas on the border. I mean, it is a war zone. And it was nice 10 years ago. It's all boarded up and like ghost towns. And I've seen what's happening in Arizona, and it is a real travesty. And if they continue to be able to threaten and kill police and others, where does it end? I mean, the police are totally outnumbered and destroyed in Mexico, and others just become corrupt and get bought off. And that's what the drug cartels do. They say either you take this money from us or we're going to kill you. We've had U.S. embassy staff killed. We've had just a few weeks ago. I mean, this is insane. They kill mayors. They kill police chiefs. They kill police. Thousands and thousands of dead cops in Mexico, and now it's coming here, and the federal government hopes they can get their amnesty before you find out what's going on as they merge this country right now. Who knows, his battery may have died or something as well. But the website is sheriffpaul.com, and he's got a lot of videos there. Sheriff, last question, because I know you're about to go into your meeting and your phone dropped. What can we do specifically to aid Arizona, which is the very front lines?
Well, we're talking about other actions we can take here in the sheriff's office and deploying more deputies out there to work with other sheriffs across America, not just Arizona. Sheriffs I'm working with are talking about sending their deputies out here to help us. I'm looking to outfit our deputies with, we all have a handgun and a shotgun and few rifles, but I want to purchase automatic rifles, a Browning .226 for each of my deputies. So we're not outgunned. And to go back into these areas and to reclaim these areas.
Well, that's another point. They've got giant armored tanks for housewives all over the country. The only place the Constitution says that the police and military should have that is on the border. We need Abrams tanks down there, so the next time Mexican troops start shooting at cops, we need to wipe them out. Yeah,
well, we need, for people, all your listeners and good Americans, to immediately call your congressman, your office, and demand to support for Arizona and to support the rule of law and to tell the president to immediately deploy soldiers. We're not going to stand for amnesty or any of this immigration reform.
Well, I mean, you're outgunned by Mexican troops. I know the counties on the border routinely get shot at by Mexican troops. I mean, this is outrageous.
It is outrageous. You know, what's it going to take? You know, now there's more people being kidnapped, killed. There's carjackings, home invasions that go on out here. In Chandler, where I work, we had the Chandler rapists who raped countless young females that were from America, and this guy was a multiple deported illegal. You know, we've had illegals, a guy from Mesa, take other illegals into my county and rob them at gunpoint or rape the women or kill them and leave them for dead and here in our county. You know, this stuff is in addition to the regular crime that goes on throughout America, but this, when you add nearly 20% of the illegals already have a criminal record, and we can't even check the records of the countries that come from.
Well, Sheriff, people need to find out more at sheriffpaul.com, and I want you to briefly talk about what's on the site and other ways we can help you, but I got two fast questions. I've protested the movie Machete. People, part of Robert Rodriguez's film crew, sent me the information. I got the script. It shows Minutemen and police in Texas killing illegals, and then the illegals killing police. It glorifies it. Yeah, it's like Birth of a Nation from a Ku Klux Klan perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I protested it, and he says he's edited those parts out now. But the issue is, you know, a film like that coming out in September that glorifies killing police because they're all racist and deserve to die. I think if this stuff doesn't get cut out, it could cause some serious backlash. I've got the script. I mean, it is dangerous.
I know. The other thing, what's happening, it's crazy. Here we're talking about a public safety issue. Now, the Obama and his folks and the Democrats here locally, 1875, our county was formed. I'm the first Republican-elected county official in the history of this county. And there's no longer a sanctuary county. We're enforcing the law. These people are already, I'm not up for re-election in 2012, but they're organizing against me, starting to raise money, recruiting candidates. So even this early, I've got to become strong and raise money and do all that in order to be prepared to fight off these people who want to take me out.
Well, this is a mafia.
People are trying to put a green light on me to take me out from the Mexican cartel.
Well, absolutely. And again, this isn't a joke. And I've seen some of the liberal media making jokes about, oh, big deal, death threats. I mean, this is the Mexican mafia we're talking about. They've killed thousands of police in Mexico.